With the new season dropping, the storyline of the OG characters has kinda taken a backseat. Now, all eyes are on Hope and her journey through reality 783. But the usual gang war just hit a whole new level after the last reality stepped in. Can we figure out the mysteries hidden in the Sakura forests? And more importantly, who the real main villain of this season is? Hey loopers, Detective Punk here, ready to break it down. The plot for this new chapter is looking pretty wild, cause from the get-go, it's throwing a ton of questions our way. This is definitely a job for our detective agency, so grab some popcorn, get comfy, because this episode is gonna be super interesting. Judging by the vibes, this isn't just your average new season. It's actually looking like some next level, and now I'm gonna dive into all the details and plot secrets, plus the new features and mechanics we've been shown. Let's start with the cinematic trailer, which is gonna clue us in on what's going down, where it's happening, and what the whole season's gonna revolve around. Opening up the trailer, we get a scene in space, where we're told that for the first time ever, we're not in a zero reality anymore. We're in an actual, existing reality, reality 783. Secondly, from an unknown crack in the universe, a mysterious shard shoots out and crashes onto the island, sending out an energy wave that awakens the Ouroboros gates. From these gates, all kinds of demons start crawling out. What's up with this shard? Well, it's hard to say for sure, but the first and most obvious guess is that it's part of or a shard of the ship from the last reality. So, feel free to discuss that in the comments. Next, we see Hope and the new protagonist chasing after a mysterious demoness, trying to catch her. They're running past a bunch of Kodama spirits. Those are the spirits from Japanese mythology that live in trees, and we'll talk more about them in the gameplay trailer. This is honestly the only moment in the trailer where we get a quick look at Jonesy. But it's not the original Jonesy who saved the zero reality and all the loops. It's the default Jonesy from Chapter 2. Press F in the comments for the legend. The chase ends with the demoness reaching the gates she opened, summoning a huge demon boss. We'll get into more about that boss in the gameplay trailer breakdown. And if you look closely, you'll notice a homing missile model. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. Looking at all the new locations quickly, they're looking straight up gorgeous, especially the dark forest where Samurai Baymax trains. How about his new look? I personally think it's just fire. So that shot where Hope and the crew are standing on the hill? It totally reminds me of a scene from the opening trailer of Chapter 2, Season 1. Big throwback vibes, definitely dropping a like for that Easter egg. Then, in this shot, we get a look at the location with a giant turtle, which according to insiders, is going to move around the island. Its position will probably change from match to match. Also, you can spot a flying island. Maybe it's a revamped version of the loot island that shows up halfway through the match. Next, the trailer picks up speed, and it gets pretty intense. We see a crazy fight in the new city, which really reminds me of Mega City, just a bit less modern. Right away, we notice the updated parkour system with new animations, rolls, and more. Epic is definitely putting a lot of focus on this gameplay feature because now we can be true ninjas. Starting tomorrow in Fortnite, we'll not only be able to do stylish rolls and wall runs, but we can also push off walls. These new mechanics are really taking the gameplay to the next level by making it way more vertical, which opens up a lot of variety in how we play. And with how amazing the new locations look, this upgraded parkour system is gonna be perfect for them. By the way, it looks like now if we fall from a great height, we can avoid taking damage if we perform a roll, which is similar to the mechanic in Mirror's Edge. It's possible the roll will use up some stamina though. Either way, it's a super cool addition. Then, in the chaos, Hope jumps in with a new item, the Masamune Sword. As we see in the trailer, it's a katana that'll let us pull off some sick spins and moves. It's probably gonna be super effective in close combat, and personally, it kinda reminds me of the huge hammers you can find on the islands with UFN. Now, as for its movement, that's still up in the air, but it's not a big deal because the kinetic blades are finally coming back. So if you're a fan of all things sharp and slicing, the first season of Chapter 6 is definitely gonna be your jam. Next, we're introduced to new cuties, the Slurp Ghost or Kodama, and I'm betting these are the sprites we talked in Teasers a few weeks ago. Gotta say, they look super cute. It looks like these sprites will wander around the island, but catching them might not be that easy. From what we can tell, they're afraid of the loopers, so hunting them down will definitely be a challenge. But if you catch or tame one, you'll be able to take it with you for a shield or HP boost for yourself and your team. Next, we've introduced to Demon Arena, and honestly, this place totally lives up to its name. When you step into the arena, you're greeted by this huge demonic face, some kind of Oni. If you look closely, you can see threads on its fingers holding the new boss in place. It seems like this boss is a puppeteer who can control the souls of the living, and he might be able to take control of different NPCs that will wander around the arena. By the way, info about this demon also dropped last week in the game files, and his name is the Puppeteer. Now it all makes sense. So if you want to stay updated on all the juicy insider info, you should definitely subscribe to this channel. In this part of the trailer, we also get a look at how some of the demonic mask powers in work. So far, we know about two, Void and Flame. The Void mask showed up at the start of the trailer, and with it, we can teleport short distances. The mechanic is kinda similar to the Cube Rift, but with one key difference. The Void mask can open full portals. Honestly, this thing looks like an absolute must-have, and it looks cool as heck too. The second demonic mask is all about fire abilities. When we wear it, loopers will be able to shoot powerful fireballs that not only deal decent damage, but also have an area of blast effect. If you take a closer look, you'll notice they have some kind of self-guidance, which for players with bad aim, hey me too, could be a nice little bonus. But honestly, I don't think that's all the Flame mask can do, because compared to the Void mask, the fire powers seem kinda underwhelming. But hey, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe everyone's cool with it. Let me know what you think in the comments. One thing they didn't show us yet though, is how the strange Ouroboros portals work. From what we can tell, these portals will be in several locations across the map. What's interesting is that in the cinematic trailer, that demoness appeared from one of these portals. So, there are two possibilities. Either the boss of the location will come out of these gates, or we'll use them to travel between different spots on the map. We'll find out for sure tomorrow, but I'm betting on the first option. Once we step into the ancient temple area, we're probably going to run into another threat. This time, a demon samurai. And let me tell you, this guy looks super intimidating. If you take a close look at his armor and the dark smoke around him, it's pretty safe to say that he's one of the Oni we'll be hunting down in the new season. But I have a feeling that there'll be more of these bosses scattered across the island. And if this demon samurai seemed huge to you, well, you definitely didn't watch the trailer until the end, because we also got a look at Godzilla. And Epix really blew me away with this one. I never thought they'd make him a full-on boss that could roam the island. It looks like this giant kaiju isn't going to be tied to one spot and can move all over the map. I highly doubt that one squad of 4 loopers will be able to take him down, so it's probably going to require us teaming up with other players to defend the island from Godzilla. I wouldn't be surprised if the boss fight mechanic is similar to the Dr. Doom battle, but it's still unclear whether Godzilla will appear in every match, or if it'll be a sort of mini-event with a chance of happening. I'm leaning toward the second option, because if we had to fight Godzilla in every match, it might get old pretty fast. Plus, the novelty of having such an epic boss might wear off. Also, if you look closely at the Godzilla shots, you'll notice the updated airdrop with the Monarch logo on the globe. For those who don't know, Monarch is a secret organization that handles research and control of kaiju like Godzilla. So it seems like we're in for a rush that I skipped over some small details, like new weapons and other stuff. But we'll dive into all of this in next video, the updated boss mechanics, parkour, masks, and Kodama. I honestly think the start of Chapter 6 is a massive step forward. So make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, guys.